today's episode, we are discussing one of the most important debates in modern legal philosophy, Ronald Dworkin versus HLA Hart. At its core, this debate asks a simple but powerful question. Is law just a set of rules, or is it built on something deeper like principles based on morality and coherence? Hi and welcome back to the channel. In this channel, we explore the fascinating world of law with an emphasis on the more philosophical questions like what is law and why do we follow law. Let's discuss Hart versus Dworkin. Let's start with understanding who these thinkers actually were. Hart was a leading English legal philosopher and professor at Oxford. In 1961, he published The Concept of Law, which became the foundation of modern legal positivism. Hart believed that law is essentially a system of rules, and what makes something law is not whether it's morally good, but whether it comes from a legitimate source like parliament, courts, or the constitution. Think of it like the rules of a game. A rule counts because the referee and the league recognize it, not because it's fair or unfair. Ronald Dworkin was another giant of jurisprudence. He was a philosopher and influential legal scholar from America. From the late 1960s, Dworkin has challenged Hart's model. Dworkin argued that law isn't just a rule book. It also includes principles, especially moral ones, that judges must rely on when rules don't give them clear answers. His view was closer to how judges actually reason out decisions in real cases. Now I've done separate explainer videos on both these writers, so you can check them out by clicking on the links in the description below. Dworkin believed that Hart's theory was fundamentally incomplete. Here are some of the main criticisms that he made. Number one, Hart's theory doesn't explain how hard cases are to be decided. For example, if the speed limit is 60 kilometers an hour and you drive at 80, you get a ticket. That's straightforward. But what about the hard cases where the rules can't clearly decide the outcome? Imagine a case about privacy and new technology that lawmakers never anticipated when the laws were created. Hart said that in these situations, judges use discretion and essentially create new law. Dworkin disagreed. He argued that judges can't just make things up. Doing so would take away the certainty of the law and would make judges lawmakers, which they're not supposed to be. Instead, they have to look to other existing moral principles like fairness, equality, or justice that are already part of that particular legal system to find the answer to the hard case. Number two, law is not just rules, it also includes principles. Dworkin believed that the legal system isn't governed solely by rules. He believed that it's governed by something broader, which he calls principles. Dworkin made a famous distinction. Rules apply in an all or nothing way. That is, if there is a situation where the rule applies, it must be applied. Principles, on the other hand, have weight. They can be balanced against other principles, which means there are some principles which may be more appropriate for a given situation over others. Think of a soccer referee. A rule might say no handballs, which is very clear and can apply to a specific situation. But a principle like fair play helps the referees to interpret grey areas and applies more holistically to the game. Dworkin argues that the courts regularly rely on principles, especially when deciding hard cases where the rules can't help them find the correct answer. Rules are only a subset of principles. Principles provide the judges much wider guidelines to decide cases. Dworkin said that Hart didn't properly account for this. Number three, the rule of recognition can't identify principles. One of Hart's key ideas in the book Concept of Law is the idea of the rule of recognition. It's a master rule that tells us what counts as a valid law. For example, statutes passed by Parliament, binding precedents, constitutional provisions are valid because they are validated by the rule of recognition. Dworkin argues that many of the principles that judges rely on, like equitable maxims, don't come from clear sources like this. Yet the courts consider them to be law. And Hart's rule of recognition can't validate these principles as law in a legal system. So Dworkin concluded that either the rule of recognition can't explain legal practice, or Hart is missing an essential part in the legal system. Number 4, judges should pursue integrity, not discretion. Dworkin introduced this idea of law as integrity. He argued that judges should interpret the law as if it were a single coherent story, one that treats everyone consistently and fairly over time. Think of it like writing the next chapter of a chain novel. You don't contradict earlier chapters, you try to make the whole story make sense. Dworkin argued that Hart's model allowed judges too much freedom to use their discretion and invent laws rather than ensure moral coherency of the legal system. Hart passed away in 1992, but before he did, he responded to Dworkin in the postscript of the second edition of the Concept of Law. Here are some of the key responses he provided. Number 1, yes, principles matter, but they don't defeat positivism. Hart admitted that he didn't say enough about principles in his original work, but he argued that principles can still count as law if courts and legal officials treat them as such. In other words, if judges regularly cite a principle and legal culture accepts it, then it can be part of the legal system without abandoning positivism. Number 2, judicial discretion is limited, not absolute. Hart clarified that when judges use their discretion, they are not allowed to act like politicians. Their discretion is constrained by existing legal standards, institutional roles, and professional norms. Think of a referee interpreting an unclear rule in a sport. They are not rewriting the sport, just filling in the gaps responsibly. Number 3, the rule of recognition can evolve. Hart argued that the rule of recognition isn't frozen in time. If courts began to treat principles as legally binding, the rule of recognition can expand to include them. So according to Hart, Dworkin underestimated how flexible this concept is. Number 4, positivism separates law from morality, but it doesn't ignore morality. Hart accused Dworkin of blurring the distinction between two questions: what the law is and what the law should be. Hart argued that the law should be morally evaluated, but he insisted that morality is not what determines legal validity. Basically, a law can be unjust but still be a valid law. So who won this debate? If you think law should be morally neutral, Hart's view is more persuasive. He offers a clear descriptive account of how legal systems should function. If you think judges must rely on moral reasoning, Dworkin's view feels more realistic. However, most scholars today believe that both of them were right in different ways. Hart provides the structure like rules, sources, institutions, and Dworkin provides the depth like principles, interpretation, and moral reasoning. Rather than defeating Hart, Dworkin pushed legal philosophy forward. But Hart's framework remains the bedrock of legal positivism even today. Check out the videos which are on screen now to understand more about Hart and Dworkin. And if you enjoyed this video, please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.